We're looking at the top knuckle. This is where the control arm is located. There's your dowel that can be a little bit tricky to get off. What I've done is I've assembled what actually is inside this housing. So what you're looking at here fits in there. Okay, so we'll just break it down. Oil seal, bearing, sleeve, circlip, gear drive, bearing. Now that is exactly how it fits in here. The only different thing that's missing is the shaft. You can see where the circlip sits. Now, as I was saying, it's a simple job. It's not difficult. If you want to attempt to do something like this, record yourself or look up more videos. But I have been unable to find any videos on how to do these knuckles. So again, oil seal, bearing, sleeve. Now there's a little rubber O-ring in there, but we'll get to that. Circlip, gear drive, bearing. Now that sits in there. All you got to do, you don't have to be a super whiz to do this, and it'll save you thousands of dollars if you give this a go. Don't be afraid of it. Fix it, because it'll last forever once you do this. These things are designed, when they were built, they were designed to last for years. And I mean years. There's no technology, high-tech stuff in these old tractors. So if you're rebuilding one before it's flogged out, it'll last you a lifetime. I guarantee you. Okay, so let's go through it. How we're going to assemble this top knuckle. Right, that's the one there, control arm there. That sits there like that. Right, so how you're going to assemble this is you're going to stick the shaft. It's a little bit difficult on the camera, but the shaft's got to go in here. This gear drive has to go in. You slide the shaft in. The circlip has to go in on top of that. We'll get to that a little bit later. And that slides up into there. You can put the circlip on. You can see, I don't know, can you see that circlip? Possibly just there. It's as good as I'm going to be able to show you anyway. So you can put the circlip on now. What happens from this point is the main bearing, the larger bearing, goes in here. Circlip goes in there. The oil ring goes on top of that. The top bearing, use the old bearing. The old bearing can sit on top, and it will locate on that little, I don't know, can you see it? Yeah, it's a little pivot point. So you'll just give the old bearing some lube in there, you'll slide that in there, it'll be flush with that. It's not going to go any further, so if you just whack it down as far as it goes, it'll sit on that seat and it's fine. From that point on, that there is the top knuckle completed. Now I'll try and do a little video of it once I get the other bearings out of the freezer, but that's the top knuckle done. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 parts on that top knuckle that drives the front wheels. Simple. I decided to do a side view. It's kind of pointless if I'm going to this extent trying to help someone out and not giving as much information as I can. So here we go from side on. The shaft slides in. Right. You grab the gear drive. Here we go, gear drive. It will slide in over the teeth there like that. Just pull it back a little bit. Circlip, grab the circlip, go around there. Circlip sits there, and there it is there. So once that's in, you just grab your little circlips. That goes in on the groove in there. You can see it just there. And that's the guts of that. See the circlip sitting in the groove just there. That's done, so it's not going to go anywhere now, so it's ready to rock. Now bearings and oil rings, and this knuckle's done. Had the bearing in the freezer so it just shrinks a little bit, so we can just slide it in the sleeve here. It's a little trick that everyone should know, I guess. Bit of oil straight over the sleeve. We'll whack that down with the old hammer, evenly of course. So there it is in. Now it's time for the circlip, just setting that up here, straight over the top of the shaft, in there, and done. You can see how it sits in that groove, nice and snug. Woohoo! Good to go. Now we'll do the bottom. Rotating it around to the top. There's that bevel edge. It is sticking out a little bit, but the idea is once we put that bearing on and we tap it down flush with the top, it's not going to go any further. It'll be lined up perfectly. So quick change of hammers. That is it. Perfect. Okay, my furry little friends, that is it. Done. See the gear drive in there, spinning like you wouldn't believe. Time for the oil ring now. Lever up. Don't be shy. And we'll slip it on there. A little bit of a tap tap. It's a bit of a lip there. It's a little bit hard to get on top, so improvise. Oops. There you go, nice and snug. Look at that, woohoo! And just for a little bit more, bit of a bonus, that will slide in over. That presses in there nicely. But we've got to put an O-ring in there yet. Put some oil in the old doobie. Lube her up. Get your little O-ring, press it in, make it sure it hasn't caught up on anything. Lovely. Lube that up a little bit, and let's put it all together. Not forgetting this little dust seal here. Sits in that little groove on the top knuckle there. Now because it'll be upside down, I like to get a little bit of grease and just smear a little bit in the groove to hold it in place. There we go. A bit on here. Slip it in there. That little fella's not going to go anywhere. You can see it. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's all snug. That'll keep everything clean. I'm going to put that, I'm going to press it in there. I think it'll be easier to assemble sitting in there, because this shaft now, just in the background here, I'm just putting a little bit more grease on top just to be 100% sure that that's not going to come out. Then we're going to flip that over, slide that in there like that, and that's going to press down a little bit more once we give it some room. There, give her a little tap. It's not my idea of a little tap, but there you go. That is it. Cap goes on top there. And that's it. That is your knuckle, because it leaks. The oil leaks from that little groove there. Pours out. So we still got the bottom casing to put on, but I mean, surely you're going to know how to do that. That's not the biggest issue. But that's how the knuckle goes on. That's where it leaks. If you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to drop me a message or ask a question, because man, I've spent some hours on trying to work out where to get all the information from, and it was as simple as that. So if this video helps you out, just let me know, and you got a little B1550 or something similar and you found an easier way, let me know. It'll be great to find out other information about it, or something that I should be looking at on the tractor, but this was the first thing that I found that could possibly be an issue. Any running gear is always going to be an issue, so I thought I'd fix it up straight away. Alright, cheers.